Hey guys, real quick, sorry about the hiatus with posting videos. It's been a little crazy recently, and I just wanted to real quick apologize. This is the first time that Doubtful and I are trying out this new format and using my brand new microphone, and we couldn't meet up tonight to record the video, so we record over Discord, so I apologize for any poor audio quality, but I hope you guys still enjoy the video. Let's talk about movies and series. I'm Ryan Buehler, and I am here with Doubtful.
Hello.
And today, we are going to be starting, hopefully, the first of many videos where every Sunday night we will talk about all of the movies and series and anything else that we've seen that week, so we can keep up to date with what's going on. Because with the previous format for videos, I always feel like I'm behind. I see a movie, I record the video, I post it, and then by the time it comes out, a new movie came out. So I just want to get these thoughts out as soon as those things come out, so you guys are up to date, and we can just move along, because 2021 has a big roster of movies and series that are coming out, and I'm ready to talk about them. But anyways, today we are going to be talking about Wanda Vision. The first 2 episodes came out this last week. It's this week. That's crazy. The limited series A Teacher on Hulu, and Cobra Kai Season 3 streaming on Netflix. So starting off, A Teacher is a limited series on Hulu. It's the grand total of 10 episodes, and each episode is roughly around 30 minutes. It is directed and created by Hannah Fidel, who also directed the movie, which was the adaptation of her book that she wrote of this story. So this is the second time it's been adapted. It stars Kate Mara and Nick Robinson, and it follows this teacher, obviously, as she starts at a new school in high school, and she's teaching this class, and she starts to fall in love with one of her students and has an affair with this student, and we kind of follow that situation through this story. I'm just going to briefly talk about this series without spoilers. I thought they did a really good job on the pacing. The episodes are short, straight to the point. The entire story is told over the course of 10 episodes, which was pretty impressive for what they told. And I thought Kate Mara and Nick Robinson did a great job in the acting department. And I thought the story was pretty important to tell because it's a different side. We don't usually see a teenage boy being taken advantage by an older woman, and we kind of see that story unfold and that journey and how the genders being switched kind of changes how things play out. So I enjoyed watching that series as a whole, and I would definitely recommend it. Probably not the best family show because there are a lot of sexual events that happen. Also, Cobra Kai Season 3 came out on Netflix on January 1st. And if you haven't seen any of Cobra Kai, this is the 3rd season. It is a sequel to the original trilogy of the Karate Kid movies that came out back in the 80s, starring Ralph Macchio. And it's kind of the continuation of that story when they're all grown up. But this time, it's through the perspective of the kid he faces from Cobra Kai in the first movie, Johnny Lawrence. And there was a big fan theory that Ralph Macchio's character Daniel was actually the bad guy in this story. And that's what this series kind of tells. Whew. Hold on, I'm out of breath. Yeah, that was a lot of information.
Yeah, you're going by quick.
Anyways, so I actually really do enjoy this show. I do believe that the first season started out on YouTube.
The first 2 seasons end up on YouTube. Netflix took the rights.
There you go. So the first 2 seasons were actually from YouTube. So this was really an indie kind of production, and Netflix gained the rights to bring us season 3. And you could definitely tell the level of production value that was brought to season 3. I definitely think you can enjoy this series if you've never seen the Karate Kid movies, but it's definitely more enjoyable if you have, especially for season 3 and season 2. They bring in a lot more characters and original actors from those original movies. Yeah, I think this is just pure fun for the family to enjoy. There's definitely cringy and corny moments throughout. Ralph Macchio being this sensei is very cringy and laughable because he is not a physical man at all. He's definitely not athletic, and he's definitely not intimidating. So whenever he tries to be, we usually find ourselves laughing. But it doesn't really hurt the show because actually Johnny Lawrence actually proves himself to be actually pretty good at being physical with the choreography. And then the teenage actors actually do a phenomenal job in the roles with acting and actually being able to perform the martial art side of it. The season 2 finale actually had one of the best choreographed fight scenes that I've seen recently, and I was actually really, really impressed because actually through season 2 I kind of started to lose interest, but that really brought me back into it. It proved to me that this show really was worth watching, and that kind of carries right into season 3. The choreography is fantastic. The story is just getting better and better. I've definitely fallen in love with these characters, and season 3 definitely ends in a way where I cannot wait for season 4. This story is going to be awesome. The show definitely does have a lot of issues with being repetitive with points because we have events that happen over and over again where Daniel and Johnny Lawrence's characters kind of fight each other, and then they're kind of like on good terms, and then they get into an argument again, and that happens over and over again. Daniel LaRusso is actually quite annoying because of how repetitive he is, where he gets upset about everything. But other than that, I think it's a really enjoyable show. Season 3 does cut out some actors from Season 2 and Season 1, which I was kind of disappointed. It kind of makes sense. What was that?
Different production, right?
Yeah. There was 2 main actors from the Cobra Kai side, without spoilers, were completely written out of the show. They did it in a way that kind of makes sense, but it was kind of disappointing because one of those characters, I really liked both of those characters, so I thought that was kind of a bad call on their part. But who knows, maybe we'll see them pop back up later on. But if you are watching Season 3 for the first time, I'd really recommend watching The Karate Kid 2 if you haven't seen it before. I didn't see it before I saw this one, and they bring in multiple characters and original actors from that movie, and I didn't quite catch a lot of the references, and that movie definitely plays a big part in this one. But yeah, so let's move on to the main event that everybody wants to talk about, and I can't wait to discuss, and that is Wanda Vision, that is streaming on Disney+, which is the first thing that we've gotten from the Marvel Cinematic Universe since Spider-Man Far From Home. That came out, when was that, July? June? It's been a long time. And they definitely brought us back to the cinematic universe in a very original and unique way. But I'm going to let Doubtful talk about that for a second.
Talk about what? What do I need to talk about?
Your thoughts on the show, man.
Thoughts on the show. I really, I enjoyed the first episode. Even though they were... Are we getting to spoilers yet, or we'll get to spoilers afterwards?
We'll talk about spoilers after.
Initially, I enjoyed these first 2 episodes, even though I could see where someone could say, this is not my thing. I watched it with my father, who I watch like every Marvel show with, right? It was all the...
Yeah.
And he fell asleep.
Yeah, it's definitely not what we usually get. Kind of by Captain America: The Winter Soldier, Marvel kind of got their feel, their kind of how they structure stories and how the universe looks and how they bring us the movies. And WandaVision is definitely throwing all of that out the window. The first two episodes play out. This I'm gonna like. If you haven't seen the trailer, this is kind of a minor spoiler, but the first two episodes completely play out as if you're watching a TV sitcom from the 1950s. The show is completely in black and white. It has a laughing track. The like handmade sets and all that. It's heavily based off of the show Bewitched from 1964 to 1972. The second episode actually has a very similar opening as Bewitched had. So it's definitely not for everybody because you're literally watching a show from the 1950s, and there's not much of MCU essence in it except for obviously Wanda and Vision. But I definitely appreciate this show for being true to what it's giving us. It's like spot on with making it feel like it's a 1950s show with the sets, the costumes, the effects, all of that. It just feels like it. And it actually has one of the biggest budgets for a television series, I heard.
Probably besides Mando.
Yeah. It's one of the biggest budgets for a television series. And you wouldn't think a 1950s show would need that. But yeah, this is the first two episodes. We'll see where this show is going to go.
I'm having fun with it, though. First two
Yeah,
episodes.
it's definitely a lot of fun. I think they did a great job with the storytelling. Like, it's not like focused on, oh, we got to set up the next Marvel movie. We're building up to something
Not
crazy.
yet.
It's
We don't
really
know.
yeah, not yet. But these first two episodes are very self-contained for the most part, and just giving us a fun, enjoyable experience.
I
And I definitely respect that.
really enjoyed the weird, wacky, sort of vibe that I got from it.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
enjoy that more than having a mindless action movie from time to time.
Yes. Yes. It's very unique.
Unique. I like when it's pinpoint, like something's wrong here. Perfect amount of something's happening. Like
Hmm.
story kept going on in her head.
Yeah.
Well, in her head. I don't know when I want to get speculating.
Well,
a little more.
we can move to spoilers now if you don't have anything else to say.
To me, this is like I feel like this is like I enjoyed the last two side. This is
Mhm.
kind of more laid back because off the walls crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like holding up.
Hmm.
I'm really like I'm enjoying it. I've
Yeah.
never been so interested in Vision because Vision's always been like a character. Oh,
Yeah.
more so, but this is
Definitely.
but we don't know his side yet. Wanda's underdeveloped, and I think this is
Yeah.
the time to get.
Absolutely, 100%. Because Wanda is one of the, if not the most powerful character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that we've been introduced to so far.
And even the comics stuff.
Yeah. So I am hands down ready to go for as much Wanda as they want to give us. Because I think she's awesome in everything that she's done so far. Her character, Elizabeth Olsen, I also think does a great job.
Wait for spoilers.
Yeah, we can move on to spoilers. If you haven't seen it yet, we're going to head into spoilers. That is your warning. So, spoilers.
I go first.
Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like all speculation. I like the whole how everything realizes all the same characters appearing era of the sitcom, right?
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah.
realized it was like either early 60s.
Yeah.
And I realized there's a lot of the same cast that keeps coming back and forth, back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I think the reason why, in the end, where we saw Hive, I'm guessing that's Hive, right?
Yeah.
The Hive people. They're,
Uh-huh.
I feel like she's sucking people into this, that she
Oh,
has created
okay.
in her mind.
That's interesting.
And that's why it is a problem. Like, usually I'd be like, what's the problem? She's been in her own little world with her.
Yeah.
Vision's clearly, like, he's more human and understanding than ever was. Man,
Mm-hmm.
no, he
Yeah.
got the. I liked how he had gum and it was stuck in his,
Yeah. No, that was
I don't know.
that was funny. I really liked all of that.
And how he's kind of like a drunk and how like
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was definitely cool. I think it's very interesting how they, in the first episode where Wanda and Vision can't explain like where they came from, when their anniversary is. They're confused about the whole thing. Like Vision's trying to figure out what the point of his job is, and he can't figure it out. It's kind of setting up where they're in this not fully this actual world. And in the second episode, where we get to see color for the first time, and things start to go strange, where Wanda gets that person talking to her through the radio, and
Randall Park's character, right? Wasp.
Oh, okay. I didn't know who it was. I put on the subtitles just to see if they would put a character name, and it just says man, and I was kind of upset. We
That's the agent from Ant-Man Wasp. He's
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah,
that was
I
Kat
didn't.
Dennings'
I
character.
tried to. I went into this show very blind. I didn't want to know anything.
My bad.
No worries. No, that's fine. That's fine.
Well, you can just assume, like, in action.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense. I also really want to know, because at first my thought was this was just going to be completely her own world that she created to like deal with Vision's death and all of that. That's what I thought it was. But with the ending of the first episode where they showed that she's in some kind of facility and people are looking at this world through these monitors, I really want to know what that's about. Is she being experimented on? Like, because at the end of that episode, we got this like weird logo that I don't know what it is, where it's a circle with a sword or a dagger or some sort.
That's the organization. Like, their shield and their...
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
I'm not too familiar with sword.
Okay. Yeah, I wanna know more about that, and I also noticed in the second episode, or actually my brother Alex actually saw this, that there's 2 or 3 times where we see the Hydra symbol.
The watch.
There was one on the watch, and then I do believe there was something else. I want to know why Hydra has something to do with this.
Maybe Connor.
So that's just coming back from her memory.
Well, it's also like if it's 60 when Hydra was.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, this show really poses a lot of questions. I cannot wait to find out what happens next, because this is supposed to lead right into Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
No, it's supposed to lead to Spider-Man and then Doctor Strange.
Well, it makes sense with what's going to happen in Spider-Man 3. So I'm assuming this is definitely going to be setting up for the multiverse.
I'm really glad that Disney Plus shows matter. Like, I used to watch these Marvel shows, felt like they didn't matter at first.
Yeah, which technically they didn't.
Like what shit?
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., yeah, where they would reference the movies, but the movies won't reference them.
Daredevil.
And the same thing with Daredevil, yeah. Which Daredevil might actually need to be watched, maybe.
Hopefully.
But to finish off Wanda Vision, this show, it's very unique. It's not for everybody. I think for people who kind of have mixed feelings about the whole being in the 50s, if you are really invested in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you should keep with it, and just because I'm betting that episode 3 is probably going to feel a lot more like the MCU. And
honestly, I felt like this episode, like Mando is meant to be like a week kind of thing. This is meant to be, in my opinion, because like I'm pretty sure they got like the same directors for every episode.
Mm-hmm.
It was like probably like a 9-hour long movie, not one, half an hour episode each.
Yeah,
that and a half.
Yeah, no, I definitely understand where you're coming from.
Even though these two are like episodes,
it's no, you definitely have a good point with that. Mandalorian has different story for each episode, but an overarching different directors. This is definitely just one story being told over multiple episodes. It definitely could have been a movie.
Hope it's not others, as
I'm pretty sure all of the Netflix or the Disney Plus Marvel shows are going to be one-offs.
That's also
I'm very excited for all of the Marvel stuff. Loki, Falcon and Winter Soldier, the What If series. I cannot wait for this stuff. I just can't wait for more Marvel stuff.
And we'll talk way into talking about more Marvel stuff.
Yes, there's two big things to talk about with Marvel. There's two big rumors going around that I just thought that we would discuss if you haven't heard it already. Apparently, Chris Evans is in talks to bring or come back to the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Steve Rogers, Captain America. We don't have any confirmation on that yet. We don't know when or why. Chris Evans did tweet on. He posted on Twitter. He said that it was the first that he had heard of it. So some people are like, maybe he's trying to throw us off. He's like, I'm pretty sure someone was like, he seems to be the guy that would just tell you, no, I'm not being a part of it anymore. And he did leave it open, unlike Robert Downey Jr., where he said he would come back if the story suited him. So I'm pretty excited to see what they do. I don't have... What was that?
Not dead in the universe.
He's not dead. He's just an old man. It could be... they could go back in time to a different event. He could... I don't know, because this is in talks now. I'm pretty sure... Isn't Falcon and Winter Soldier all ready to go?
I think...
So, do you think there's a possibility he might show up in that series? I feel like if he's going to show up, it should be in something like that or something down the road, maybe.
I think it'd be funny if it's about him, Johnny Storm.
Oh my gosh. That... No, I didn't. Yo.
That'd be fun.
That would be better. I would rather have that than him come back as Captain America.
I think his story...
his story's completed. I definitely, I definitely agree. I would love to see Captain America come back.
Invasion.
Yes, because that's another series coming out.
Scroll.
Definitely 100% is possible. But I definitely do like the idea of going for the humor side, and everyone's hyping up, oh, Chris Evans coming back to the MCU, and he shows up as Johnny Storm in a multiverse scenario. I think that would probably be better.
Yeah, and I would love him to be back, but also completely fine if he doesn't.
Yeah, I agree.
Keeping up with other Marvel news, kind of hint, possible rumors that Charlie Cox has...
Which is blowing my mind. The fact that we might be getting Matt Murdock, Daredevil, from the Netflix series into the Marvel Cinematic Universe officially is amazing. I know as soon as Spider-Man Far From Home came out, people were talking about they could bring Daredevil, he could be Spider-Man's attorney, and I've been in love with that idea ever since. I don't know if that is what they're doing.
Either way would work, but
yeah, I can't. I friggin' love the Daredevil Netflix series. I just want more of that in whatever shape and form we get.
I feel like the same writers.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, because that show is perfect.
Ask anyone.
Yeah. Now, do you think it's going to be a continuation of that Daredevil, or do you think they're going to kind of use everyone as the same actors, but they're going to reboot and tell the same story?
I don't feel like Kevin Feige hasn't played.
I agree with that, but I also think he would want to do something different. So maybe he won't specifically say that stuff is canon, but he won't give us those stories again.
I don't know. Because it would be like
I would prefer continuation.
Mandalorian. A spoiler. Where Boba Fett comes in the end, and then they announce the book of Boba Fett, and again the Spider-Man 3 Daredevil season.
Woo! I would be okay with that. That's the end credit scene for Spider-Man 3. Because after the roster of characters that they have in that movie, having Daredevil, I think, that's definitely going to be a lot. And that would definitely kind of take away from the story. Having him as an end credit scene would be awesome.
I hope this movie stuff doesn't sound.
Yeah, it definitely sounds overstuffed, and we've seen 2 Spider-Man sagas come to an end because of being overstuffed with setting up the universe.
It's not destined to matter what fans like it. MCU Spidey. Well, not hardcore Spider-Man fan. I see a lot of hardcore Spider-Man fans hate MCU Spidey, but like it.
Yeah, no, you're right. Just because it's part of the MCU, even the weakest movies, people still love because it's a part of the universe. I really hope we don't get to that point. I hope this movie, they nail it. I can't wait. This is definitely going to be a dream come true with the roster that they have. I just hope that they can try to bring us a movie that's on the same level as Into the Spider-Verse, because that movie is
phenomenal.
Yeah. Almost perfect. I completely agree. The story, the animation, it's amazing. So if they could just get a fracture of that in this movie, that cinema level in this movie would be enough. But
is that it for that?
I think that's it. Is there anything else that you want to talk about?
There's not
list of HBO Max and Netflix.
Oh yeah.
Do you have that up? Because I don't have it here.
I don't have any on the top of my mind, but
Oh yeah, we don't have to list them all because you can just look that up yourselves. But
I saw Netflix is dropping one every a big.
That is crazy. Whether they'll be all great movies, we'll have to find out.
I think next week will be the topic. That new Anthony Mackie movie.
Yeah. I'm kind of skeptical on that movie just because I'm not too big of a fan of the 2 movies that were brought to Netflix by that group.
Action, like this action type.
Yeah. I'm ready to go to give it the benefit of the doubt, but I don't have my expectations too high. But I'm willing to watch it, and then hopefully we'll be able to talk about it next week. Oh yeah, because HBO Max is dropping all of the movies that are coming out in theaters the day of on HBO Max. So it's definitely going to help people watch these movies.
Godzilla versus King.
Yes, which I'm pretty excited for that. I haven't seen any of the movies that have built up to that yet.
I'm definitely going to sit down and watch them before I can see that.
We'll have a rewatch, and then when we talk about it, we'll talk about all 4.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. So look out for that when that drops. But yeah, if you don't know what movies that are coming out on Netflix and HBO. Just keep, whenever you have the opportunity to check out those apps, go on and see what's new. Because, like you said, a new movie every week for Netflix. There's a lot of stuff that's coming out this year that got postponed from last year. And the movies that were supposed to come out this year. So we're kind of jam-packed, I think. And I can't wait to start watching stuff. Yeah, all this week, there was a couple things that came out I didn't get to see. We only got to talk about Wanda Vision and recapped about a couple things that came out a little bit ago. But I'm ready to get started. 2021. Let's try to cross our fingers that we can redeem ourselves from last year. We had great movies last year, but it was no 2019. All right, I think that's wrapping it up for today. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to try to do this every Sunday night, talk about what we've seen. If you guys have any recommendations on what you've seen, let us know down below. If you have any thoughts on what we talked about during the podcast, drop them down below. Love hearing from you guys. It's been great. It has been Ryan Buehler and...
Doubtful.
Doubtful. And you have a great night.